Have you ever done what everybody expects of you to do, but deep down you probably felt a little different? For me, I did what was expected of me until I didn't. I had a boyfriend because what I thought was supposed to be the way that I was supposed to live my life, that's what I was supposed to do. It wasn't until I had community, acceptance, and I was around like minded people that I felt differently about that. So let's talk about it. All right. So my story about when I knew that I was gay and that I wanted to live a different lifestyle than what was presented to me or what I was raised under. About ninth grade, I'll say that I guess for conversation's sake, I had friends and then I had gay friends. That's not really how it is, but I'm just gonna make it simple for this story. So because most of my friends overlapped and we were all in the same high school. So baby, we was outside. We was outside. We was also going to the club, sure. I hope no children are watching this. I'm from a time where we would go to the club and we would pass back the ID. So somebody would have either a fake ID or someone else's ID, and they would go in first. You have to be 18 to get in there. We were not 18. You would have to be 18 to get in there, and they would go in first, get their wristband, then stay in the club for about 20 minutes or so, and then come out to the car, bring us the ID. They would go in with their wristband, and then we would come in with the same ID. Child, they knew that wasn't us on that ID. They knew it wasn't us on that ID. I didn't even set the scene. Let me set the scene. I'm in Texas. So I've grown up very Christian, very much in the church. That was the goal for me. The goal was, you're raised to be like, girl, you got to be in this house. You're going to raise these children. You're going to get in this relationship, raise the children, go to college, but also you're marrying a man. So I had a boyfriend when that was like my first serious boyfriend was in high school. And so that was happening. But I was just with my friends, right? Like in high school, you're exploring who you are, you're like meeting new friends. And so I had my straight friends where we would do these things and talk about these things, but also hung with people that already, I don't know that we had the words per se for like lesbian, trans, gay, bi, whatever. I don't think that we had necessarily the words back then. Anyway, so I was exposed to, I just had like a different experience with things that weren't necessarily discussed in my everyday life. So fast forward, okay, so I have a boyfriend, whatever, and I was telling my boyfriend at a certain point, I was like, I don't know. So there was like this thing that was happening where I was like curious, I would say, curious about women, about same-sex relationships. And so me in a relationship, I'm like, oh, I gotta tell him how I feel. I don't feel that way anymore. I shouldn't have. But anyway, I told him, I was like, oh, I'm exploring. I'm at this space in my, I'm paraphrasing. I'm exploring and I don't know what this women thing, what this girl thing is, but I want to continue to explore it. And him being me, he was just like, I mean, he was like, well, that's fine. Just don't fall in love. And so he basically was like, he didn't consider being with a woman a real thing. And I won't even lie. I don't know that I felt like being with a woman was like a real thing because the only thing you're supposed to do is be with a man. Like, so this is just like play, this gay thing is like play. And so he was like, okay, well, as long as you don't fall in love, as long as you don't get in a relationship, then it's okay. So I was talking to the guy and also just, it wasn't that I was talking to women, I was just immersing myself and experiencing and having conversations and just experiencing a lifestyle that was taboo at that point, right? Like now being gay is more mainstream, but it was not back then. That was not, it was like you going to the gay where? So 11th grade, in 11th grade year, I get pregnant. for my beautiful baby. I was like, all right, girl, well, here we are, baby time. We was talking about getting married. Then about 2 months later, I found out that he also had another child. So he had another child, and so we had some issues in our relationships for a few months, and then we ended it. And so now it's like this thing that I was doing because I felt like this was what I was supposed to do, right? Like this gay stuff is like side things. But you're supposed to get married, this and that with this man. So once I felt that that was not something that I had to do, then I was just kind of free to be myself. And a little bit after that, I met someone that went to school with us as well, and she's a woman, and we were in a relationship for 7 years after that. So I really feel that it was basically me doing what was expected, trying out different things, being curious. I feel like it's okay to be curious and to kind of figure yourself out. What was kind of holding me back was this idea that like you have to do these things. Like you're a woman, this is what you're supposed to do. This is what they child and don't even let me start about the church. I think one of some of the questions that gay people still get is like, oh, what happened to you? Something must have some trauma, whatever, whatever. For me, that wasn't the case. There was not some trauma, some big moment. It was me just figuring out myself as a young adult, figuring myself out, giving myself the grace. And once I felt that I was in community and with people around me that experienced the same things, I feel like I was free to make my own decisions about that. And I feel that there was already something. It just wasn't trauma. It wasn't a big moment. I just had to be honest with myself and be who I was and go where I feel the most comfortable. So if my story, I gotta go. If my story made you reflect on anything or on your journey, you know, gay or not, just figuring things out and then going with it, even with all of the other things where you got a kid, you got a what? You got a kid, it was so many things. But if my story made you think about something in your journey, let me know in the comments. Drop me a comment. I read all of the comments. Thank you to one of my followers that asked me to talk about this comment to talk about this. If you enjoyed this, definitely subscribe and let me know what else you want to hear about. I know I just talked about a whole bunch of stuff in one moment. I gotta go to dinner though, y'all. But let me know in the comments.